aided and freehand ellipses. An ellipse is often needed to represent a circle in an oblique or an isometric drawing. In this case we're drawing oblique. I'm going to create an aided sketch of an ellipse on this surface and a freehand ellipse on the top of the cube. So as we did with the circles, it's a good idea to have some structure to work through, and the first thing we need is some center lines. So if we find the center of the top, sketch some center lines in. It's not really on center, that one. It's more like it. And then some boundaries for the ellipse. So if we draw a line up from here, so we're going to create an edge there. Edge there. And same all the way around. So we now have 4 quadrants that we can draw the parts of the ellipse into. So it's really just a matter of imagining the shape of the ellipse and using your pencil to sketch it into some sort of proportion within the 4 diamond shapes that we created from the center lines and the outside edges. And that's more or less elliptical shape. So we can line that in. It's always easier to have your hand on the inside of the circle. I've made a bit of a mistake there because I'm trying to draw from the outside. Okay, good enough. And then if we put our center line in there, there we have our freehand ellipse on the top of the cube. Okay, it's a little easier. We've got some straight edges and compasses to work to. So, and we're going to use a slightly different method on the side face, so we can a bit more accurately work out our edges. And we create a center line. And as we're building up the sketch, the more parallel lines we've got to work to, the easier it is to sketch in another parallel line because you've got a reference point to work from. It's very difficult to draw any pictorial sketch without starting from a box, so that we've got some reference lines to work from. Yeah, but we'll do more of that a little later on. Okay, so now we used a method similar to this to draw an ellipse in Unit 2432. So we'll create a diagonal down there, another diagonal there, and then put a centre line from the corner of our parallelogram through here, and that gives us some reference points to put our compass on. So if we set the compass so that it comes reasonably close to the corners, and we might have a little bit of adjustment to do because this is a sketch, it's not an accurate drawing, but we want it to look reasonably close. Near enough. Should be able to use more or less the same radius on the top here. And open the compass up. It looks like I need the bigger one. And we'll just adjust our start points a little bit just so that we get the ends to meet. Better. And there we have a freehand and an aided sketch of an ellipse. Just to put some centre lines in there, because every sketch when it's finished, we'll reach this point a little later on, needs to have some dimensions. There it is, job done.